Good day, and welcome to a special episode with myself and Stories with Style. Stories with Style, want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm a YouTuber. I'm looking for cool stories everywhere, and I'm mostly wearing a suit for fun. Nothing special. So yeah, we're gonna take a look at a cool video today, and I'm very excited to see it.
Yeah, so we're actually going to be doing a game review. Now, it's not one game, we're actually going to do 4 games. 2 on the latest list that I can remember. If I can find the other one besides Jedi Fallen Order, I'll actually go through them. So here we go. Let's just start up with the first video, and we'll start looking at it and talking about it, but there's going to be no audio.
Yeah, for copyright reasons, because they will get us.
Yeah, I've been caught once, so I once
Yeah.
once bitten, twice shy.
Yeah, exactly. Let's not do that. Are you playing it? Because I'm not seeing it.
Oh, you're not seeing it, Blake?
No, I'm seeing your download list.
Oh, one moment. Let's see what's going on here.
Yeah, well, just cut it out.
Yeah, it just cut on my side. I was supposed to be sharing the screen.
Like I saw your Steam page, but I only saw the store and it didn't load, and it was all gray, and on the bottom is yeah. I can send you a screenshot later if you want.
Yeah, it won't show. Okay, yes, it. I've got the right screen now. Sorry about that. I don't know why it cut
Yeah,
out.
no problem. Oh yeah, I see him running. Okay, let's go.
right.
Okay,
So, yeah,
just cut it out. We'll just start and let's go. Okay. Shall I comment while we watch, or
Yeah,
we're
let's
just
comment
gonna
while
see?
we're watching it. I don't see
Ah,
any
okay,
reason
perfect.
to stress
Okay,
about
okay.
it.
So let's go.
Yeah, so as you can see, this is Electronic Arts. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
played Force Unleashed before.
I actually tried. It was a lot of fun, but then I had a lot of work and forgot about it. So I will finish it down the line. It was very cool. Like I played the first planet, I think. It looks cool, little robot thing.
So I'm a massive Star Wars fan. I've played the mobile games. I've played Force Unleashed on PS, and I've had a lot of fun with these games in general. This year gives me a lot of that Starkiller type vibe with better graphics. That's the only thing that I can
Yeah. Yeah. Like the graphics are really good. Like I remember back when I started playing Star Wars games, like it was like Jedi Academy, and you could count the pixels, and this is so much smoother. Yeah, and of course he gets yeeted out. Brilliant.
A lot of people will say that it's very repetitive on this gaming, and they are 100% correct. This is the exact same game with a different title, and despite all of that, I have to say that these games are exactly what everybody wants to see. That's why they're so popular. And
yeah,
you know, it's just the perfect type of gaming for a person who plays this type of game for fighters. I don't know if you are a fighter type game player or a survival.
Yeah, or like I play almost everything. Like I grew up with real-time strategy, like Empire at War was one of my favorite games ever, and but I also really like the Star Wars Battlefront series, especially the earlier ones. And I'm still mad that they cancelled Star Wars Battlefront 3 back then. So yeah.
Let's see if that other game is here on the front list. I actually
Yeah.
had two brand new games that were just launching today, but I can't find the
Ah.
other one on the list right now. So I guess I'm gonna have to skip it. Obviously, sometimes you forget the name of a game, and
Oh yeah.
I'll just fill in one of my games in that slot. So one of my games would be, let's see, let's go with Destiny. Destiny is like one of my core 2 games. It was one of the first games that I ever played. Sorry about this. Yeah, this was supposed to be the original for our first.
Yeah. Yeah, I've actually, like, I saw that you have access to it on the PS for free, and I was thinking about playing it with my friends and my wife, but we are not sure if it will be a lot of like stuff we have to pay then, like on the long run. So we were a bit skeptical there, but yeah, it's like it looks really cool. I've only seen like glimpses, but never really what it is about. I know there's this big sphere, I think, that's around, but
Yeah. Okay. So let's first discuss Jedi Fallen Order. Then we'll get to this one. Yeah. So
yeah, let's do that.
we did talk about it a little bit already, but some of the more important things. I suspect that you are a Star Wars fan, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah.
may the
But
fourth be with you.
yeah, may it fits today. Yes, like a colleague of mine had his T-shirt, and I today in my lecture I did Star Wars as an example, so I honored the day.
Okay, so yeah, on that side of Star Wars, a lot of people don't get the whole attraction to that sci-fi universe because, generally speaking, it's very detached from science fiction. It's more just pure
Yeah.
fiction.
Yeah, it's science fantasy.
Yeah,
I would
it's
I would
fantasy.
classify it more as science fantasy. Like they have a very well working world. Like it's very well thought through, and there are not like okay. So some of the newer stuff they pushed out was a bit like where I was saying like yeah, this might be very law breaking if you go down that road. But in generally, it's very well tended universe. Like everyone took care of it. And there was so much cool stuff they did, like with like there were these books back then, like with what happened to Luke after everything and stuff. Like, don't know if you know them.
Yeah, I've actually read the entire series. The Heir to the Empire.
Yeah. I think I've read one book of that because it was in the library, and when I was young, I just like I had to take what they had. So they had like one book. I think it was the last one, but yeah, that was very cool. I liked it.
It was a 6-part series, if I remember.
Yeah,
A lot of
something like
people
5 or
said-
6.
A lot of people were saying that Thrawn was a major part of it, but I don't remember reading about Thrawn. I remember
Yeah, me
Mara
neither.
Jade. I remember Luke.
Yeah.
And I remember Luke ended up having a child with Mara Jade.
Yeah.
That's all that I remember.
Yeah, I also remember Mara Jade. And was that the one with Jason Solo as well? Perhaps because
Yeah,
Was he in
the
that?
same one. Same one.
yeah. That's the one I read. It was like I loved it. Very cool stuff. And
Jason Solo
also-
got possessed by a Force ghost of
Yeah.
Sith, who was a Jedi. Weird.
yeah, it was like very, but it was cool stuff. Like I really liked reading it. It was the first real sci-fi book I read, I think.
Oh.
It was very. I'm still sad that Mara Jade is not in the movies, the new ones, and they like deleted her, which
Oh, no,
is
it's coming.
such a shame.
Didn't
Oh,
you
is she
hear?
coming?
Dave Filoni has restarted Heir to the Empire. He's going with the original. So it's going to.
That would be so good. Like, I would love that. I need that. Like it's so cool. Enter the
it's
Empire.
going to
Yeah.
retcon and create new parts to the entire story.
Oh, that would be brilliant. I would love to see that. Because I love Mara Jade as a character, because she was very fresh when she came out, so to speak. Like I think, like I read that in way like I don't know when it was. Like I was 14 or whatever. Like it was 15 years ago. So I don't remember a lot, but I still remember them being badass.
Oh no, wait! I read it even longer ago.
Yeah. Like it's like 90s 2000s stuff. I think if I remember.
Yeah, early 2000s for me. Very early. I think
Yeah, something
2001 or
like that. Yeah.
2002.
Yeah. So and about Fallen Order, like, have you
That's not
played it
Fallen
on
Order,
which
that's
what
Survivor.
difficulty?
That's Jedi
Yeah, exactly.
Survivor.
But you said there are mechanics from Fallen Order, so we could like try to extrapolate that, because you said it looks a bit similar in the
It's
way that you
exactly
could
the same.
perhaps.
It's actually the exact same mechanics. I've played all the Star Wars
Yeah. So
games.
how are they? How are the mechanics? Like, are they smooth?
The mechanics are generally very janky. There's the whole force
Okay.
crush
Yeah.
or force grab, then there's the force lightning,
Yeah.
and there's the whole threat sense and the mind control.
Mm.
It's all the same
Yeah.
ploy is being used over and over again. They're just using it with a new player, and then you upgrade it till it reaches the level of Darth Vader. So it's kind
Ah,
of
Okay.
I don't know if there's a proper word to put on it. Repetitive play. Can you still see my screen, or has it
Yeah.
cut
And
off on
how's
your
the?
side?
Yeah, I see a knight and two
We now
guys.
face a
and,
war
and yeah,
on
now I see a spaceship flying.
2 fronts.
Okay, I'm just going to
It's
pause it
it's
for a
going.
sec.
It's going.
No, I
Yeah.
actually didn't. I don't know if the screen was still showing. Like I was saying, I'm having problems with Windows Defender.
Yes. Yeah, but it's still showing. Now I see it in I think full screen.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So
No.
that's about it on the Star Wars side. If we really wanted to, I think we could do a 1 hour talk on Star Wars at the games.
At least.
1 on the far
At least, like, I could sit here a whole day and we could just talk about that.
Yeah. Oh, let me just make sure that this is also killed. Yeah. So
Yeah, I think it's okay. So now it's off.
yeah, that's it. So we are cutting short the Star Wars talk because I realize we're both fanboys, and if we keep it up, we'll
Yeah.
probably talk about it for hours. The video is going to be a bit stuttery over here, and it's not going to show any gameplay, unfortunately.
reaches of the
Yeah,
system.
that's no problem. I'm interested in the story as well, like, because big orb. Yeah, there it is. There it is. The big orb. I knew it was there.
The big orb is called the Traveler.
Yeah, I think I read that somewhere. I know it's the central thing.
Yeah, central theme of the whole story.
Yeah.
So in terms of this is going to be a very stuttery play in the background. I'm sorry about that there, but nonetheless, while it is going on, maybe I should explain the story to you a little bit. So basically, Destiny follows the whole story of pre-apocalyptic Earth. After this orb, the Traveler comes to Earth, and it lifts humanity to a golden age. So all of our technology goes well beyond the quantum level. We go to paracausal technology. So that's beyond the existence of what we understand. And as a result of it, we ended up very far ahead, and the enemies of that paracausal force show up, and they knock us back down. So it's that post-apocalyptic world where you have some paracausal and some regular technology, and it's a mix of it in this place.
Go through you, Queen's Guard. And
Oh, you could both. That's cool.
So the weapon systems are your standard hand cannon, your pulse rifles, your auto rifles, bows, swords, and then there's a special weapon called a glaive.
Yeah.
They also have sniper rifles, rocket launchers.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, by the way, the street name was German. They just showed. But yeah, the design is very cool. Like I like these particle style things they've got around their hands and stuff.
Those are paracausal powers.
I like the aesthetic.
These are the powers of the light. So there's 3 powers of the light, and now there's 2 powers of the opposite paracausal force, the darkness. So yeah, that's how it goes.
Okay.
So basically, you saw a little bit of the cinematic of these powers, and I'm just going to go to another location to the actual main focus that I was actually going to go after, Atomic Heart.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, let me just explain the game to you, and here's some of the things with the game. So Destiny has a lot of story involved in it. Most of the people who enjoy it are there for the story. They're not really there for anything outside of the story, because the gameplay
Mhm.
is very repetitive. There's about 2 hours worth of actual gameplay. Once you've become a master, you basically can repeat that 2 hours every 2 hours. So
Ah, I see.
you get it. There's not a lot of gameplay, but you have to
Yeah.
play the RNG system to actually move forward. That's why a lot of people play the
Ah,
game, and it's very community
sounds like World
intensive.
of Warcraft.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
community intensive, and the story is really catchy. There's what you have side stories and seasonal activities. They change week by week, so that's what adds
Ah.
to the whole thrill of the adventure. So you get 30 minutes for 4 weeks, and then it lasts for about 8 weeks, if I'm correct, and then it moves on to the next season.
Mhm.
So that's how the game has been flowing for the past few years. I know
That
that
sounds cool.
I'm not explaining it very well. I'm just trying to condense it into a
Yeah,
few minutes.
I get you. I get the point. I think, yeah, because I've like if you have a game and you want it to run a long time, either you have to pump out completely new content, and I mean you can only do that once or twice a year, so they might like players might leave, and so if you do it weekly, you might do smaller stuff and might even repeat the events, but you've got like something different every other
So
week, and then
one of the things with Destiny was it actually was moving very fast. You'd get new content every 3 months, and the content was absolutely amazing. And it drew a crowd of about 10 million people on launch. Then
wow.
it reduced to a player population of about a million players, which decreased to just under 150,000 players. And that 150,000 player base will shrink to about 1 or 2,000 off season, and about 10 to 100,000 in season or during DLC. So
Ah, I see.
you,
Yeah,
you get it. The game is really in a bad state. Leading to
yeah,
its
that
bad
sounds
state
bad.
was terrible gameplay. They gave us a very small DLC at one stage in this Destiny 2. I think it was a total of about 20 minutes worth of gameplay.
Hmm.
So 20 minutes worth of gameplay
That's
is
stupid.
really
Yeah.
an insult to the player. And most of it was farming. So people said it's too little to pay the premium, $20 for a DLC.
Oh, you had to play $20 for 20 minutes of gaming.
Yeah.
That's a
It's
ripoff.
not
Yeah,
actually
it's
it's not actually 20 minutes. Now, the veteran players like myself will tell you that it was a lot more than 20 minutes, because in that 20 minutes you had something called a raid activity. The raid activity is actually about uh, 10 minutes of its own activity, but it's only for the
oh
highest level players. If if you just start the game and someone gave you their account to play and you went into a raid, you'll never get through it. It's just mind-boggling
yeah.
how efficient
I
you
mean
have
it's
to be.
raid. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've done professional raiding, so to speak, in World of Warcraft once,
Yeah,
so I know how hard that can be. Like raids are like the worst. Not the worst. That's the wrong word, but the hardest stuff in games. They should be like they should be
yeah.
because they're epic and you fight the big boss.
So because of the raids being right at the end, people don't count it as part of the gameplay. Then the side stories, they don't count them as part of the story because they're just there for you to complete a quest. Like you need to get a gun, you do a side story. And then you got the
Yeah.
seasonal activities, which is, that repetitive farm RNG story. It's just they change out a
Yeah.
boss, and that doesn't really count as, a new activity. So
Yeah.
that's where everybody was getting frustrated with the game, and that's how come Destiny had its major fall off. Adding to that whole situation was the content creators. Shockingly enough, we had one or two content creators who went on a rant about the company being too serious about pushing deadlines with their creators. So they ended up laxing their entire deadlines, and they ended
Yeah.
up 6 weeks late with only 20 minutes of content for DLC.
Oh yeah.
Nobody
Yeah.
actually
I
spoke.
mean.
Yeah, nobody spoke out
Yeah.
against the content creators for saying things like that there, but it's hand in hand. When you tell them to go easy on their content creators and they only have 20 minutes where they have to have 2 hours, can you blame anybody?
Yeah, like it's hard. Like and depending on what the resources are used for and who they pay and what their team is it mainly developers or is it mainly management or I don't know what they have.
Oh no, the developers were working 2 weeks of extra shifts to get the games into production finals.
Yeah.
That's what everybody was complaining about. But it was in overtime. They were being paid. It was just impacting their family lives for 2 weeks every 3 months.
Yeah.
So yeah, they ended up changing their systems and they ended up giving the creators a total of 4 weeks to have all of that content done. So yeah, you can understand that's a bit better. It's a lot less crunch.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And in the end, they ended up sacrificing the story for the sake of gameplay in the last season, which was the DLC. And it really upset the community for the game.
Yeah. I can understand that, yeah.
Okay, so this is actually the game that I actually want you to view, Atomic Heart. Now, is it showing on your side?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Looks cool.
So this is post Cold War world where Russia has advanced into quantum level technology, resulting in them having this hyper technologies.
Yeah.
So you can see there's
And also
drones.
robotics, I guess.
Yeah, advanced robotics.
Oh, that looked weird.
And
Okay, so the robots killed everyone?
No,
what happened?
they have a second problem because people are integrated with robotics. Some people turn into type of like a monster situation over here. It's kind of complicated to explain.
Yeah, do they have like nanites or something in them or like chips and stuff and they just go haywire?
It's more complex than that. This is fusion level power that's been elevated to the quantum state. So it's technology on a level that is really complex to explain. You'd actually be a better person to explain it than me. Although we both could put an explanation together for it.
I mean, they will have some fictional components in it and stuff. So because like this. Oh man, that looked cool. Like like the robot. I also like already like these designs they have. Like they look very uncanny valley. I like that.
Mm-hmm. They're also very virtual in their world. Everybody is partially uploaded to an internet type of situation, but it's quantized.
I see. Yeah,
sense.
Yeah, like quantum internet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like an artist's rendition of quantum internet. Let's say it like that. Yes.
Yeah. This is the most famous thing that everybody knows about it. The twins.
Yeah, these two girls. I don't know. Yeah. Oh God, what's that? That like the designs are already very cool. And he looks also mad. Yeah, it's like so you have these telekinetic or like what are these powers? They look pretty cool.
These
like
are
it
all
looks like
basically, from what I understand, everything is explainable through science. Because when I went through a slow review of it on my own to say whether or not I'd like it, it generally was very scientific in the way that they explain everything.
Yeah.
All of this has to do with genetic and technological splicing. So basically, it's a genome spliced with electronics from a quantum state.
Okay, I see.
You have a full genome with electronics mixed in. Okay, my PC isn't going to be able to play right now. I ended up with another one of my starters. Okay, so I'm just gonna freeze it here, and so basically, this is one of the games that a lot of people said was one of the best for its season. Do you have anything to say about quantum technology and its role in integration with genetics like this here? Do you think that's possible?
Depends really on what you want to do. I think quantum technology, like the current level is very like, I think we are currently working on quantum computers. I mean, everyone like kind of knows that, but what that really means is that there are certain things we can understand better and we can actually simulate stuff on the quantum level better. Because like if you build a computer that is working on the quantum level, you can simulate the quantum level. Like you can build better models. And I don't know if genetics would all like would be too big. But I think single like if you have a DNA strand and you have little elements like chemical components and stuff like that, you might use quantum technology down the line, perhaps to like change molecules or give them a bit like different properties, or perhaps influence the way they react to stuff. And I mean, if you then have quantum computing, you could like perhaps use that to upscale like things, or understand things like why does this and this gene produce, I don't know, like we just saw electricity being shot. So you might have an animal that can do that, and you might decode their genes, and you want to understand why their genes would allow that animal, like how does gene translate to ability. Actually, and you might decode
this is where the difference is. You have a full genetic structure that's regular, but they use quantum technology to undercoat the DNA with technology.
Okay, so is it that
it's basically like they're filling in the gaps between the atoms with the technology. They're interlinking the genetic with the electronic at the quantum level and bringing it out to a genetic level in the end.
Okay, so are they like recoding DNA, or what are they exactly doing then?
They're not recoding. They under what would be an easier way? You know when you have like a floppy disk and you put a magnetic strip at the bottom to encode information. If you look at it from the way that you're supposed to, you'll always read what's on the floppy disk. But if you read the magnetic strip at the bottom, because you know to read the magnetic strip, you can see what's extra hidden within that little floppy disk.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like that.
I see. Okay. I get it. I think I get it. So you use the quantum stuff to like see things or unlock potentials in the structure of DNA that you wouldn't see if you wouldn't have quantum technologies.
It's not.
And then you like unlock.
Okay, so here's it from a engineering technology side. We know that we can edit the human genome, but some scientists or some engineers have thought of actually putting on underlayers underneath the genetic structure. So you can add a technology inside a gene structure so that you can keep the cell perfectly stable. So in other words, it's the key to eternal youth, in a way.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But it doesn't
alter that would make sense.
The genes are exactly the same. They're unedited. You are a natural, organic, 100% human, but you aren't affected by illness or disease.
Yeah, you're just cared for. Yeah, like there's like a factory inside you that takes care of your cells.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
not a factory, but you know what I mean. Like they can like make it so. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm forgetting that part like of the same generation in that sense. We can talk about Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like, I mean, they were like Akira Toriyama. Toriyama is a pioneer, so yeah. Like he was great. Yeah. Like great stuff. Like he did so much stuff for fiction, and but like back to the technologies. Yeah, I think like there's this border between quantum physics and normal physics, and it's like something to do with size. So if you go to the DNA level, you might be able to influence stuff that's very, very small, and then you might get things like that, like you could like influence cells or whatever.
No, the DNA level is actually very close to the atomic level, so you wouldn't be able to actually interfere with the structure at that level. You'd have to go one further, so you'd be in the layer of subatomic particles below atomic particles. So you'd be at that very, very low level, almost hitting the quantum state. That's the only place where we can actually encode something like this into DNA.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why it would probably work. Like because that's exactly the RAM. You like a DNA has molecules that are pretty big, And for those, it's like hard, but if you go smaller, then it's like more quantum, so to speak.
Okay, so here's the last explanation of everything because I have skipped out something very important. What
Yeah.
Russia unlocked in this timeline is atomic power. You know, the ability to do fusion on a regular
Yeah.
level. And because of their higher levels of power, they discovered higher levels of technology, which then influenced them to the nano and the quantum level of technology, allowing them to do these things to humans, splicing them in with technology directly.
So like we jumped ahead on the what's it called, Kardashev scale or whatever it's called.
This
We
isn't
can now
even a
use.
jump on the Kardashev scale. This is actually 0.9 or 1.2. It's between that level. 0.9.
Yeah, like I would say it's 1. I would say it's like it's that range. But like we're currently at 0.7 or something. But like we're close to fusion. I think 20 more years or something. Like yes, but we can't use it. So you would for the Kardashev scale you would have to be able to use it as well. So like we know it, like, but our reactors are not yet working. So if they work, then we would be like about 1, I guess, or 0.9, something like that.
Okay, I'm just going to say something from the engineering point of view. There's a lot of technologies that are available, right? To be honest. So in terms of that Kardashev scale, we likely are a 0.9 civilization. It's just that a lot of them are regulated so heavily because we don't know the negative effects on them that we actually are reduced to that 0.7 or 0.6.
Yeah, that might be. Like, but I really think like if we had fusion, it would like push us over 1. I think it would, because like it, yeah.
Okay,
because it's like it would be like you controlling a bit of the sun. So I would say that's like I would say that would be an okay argument to make. And it would push us above 1 because then like many energy problems would be solved in a way. Like we would get other problems, but that's how it goes, I guess.
So the way that I was explaining the Kardashev scale when we're talking about technology is level 1 technology allows you to harness the sun's power to 100% efficiency. So
yeah,
if you can
like
harness 100% solar energy for your locality, for your surface of your planet, you're at Kardashev scale 1. If you can
that's like
use
that's
other sources, even if it's renewable or unrenewable, and you can maintain that state indefinitely, then you're also at level 1. So that's 2 ways to reach level 1. So fusion technology is that border point of level 1.
Yeah, I agree.
And this year, as I said, it's either 0.9 or 1.2 because it's just a little bit above that where you start unlocking the human potential. So you start extending human life through tech.
Yeah. And also you get so much more energy suddenly. Like it's pretty cool. But yeah, like that's a cool setting. Like I really like the idea of using fusion as a like, what do you say? Like a threshold, and then to use that to create like these ideas of like a nanotechnology and what they use here. Like I like that. That's cool.
Okay, so here's a weird one just for the sake of a research paper from some of the doctors with University of Washington. I think it's Dr. Albert Brown's paper. He lists potential supernatural power abilities of certain compounds, and he lists neutronium. So he says if we can create neutronium in a magnetic situation and allow it to be exposed to our air, we could technically have infinite amounts of energy without breaking thermodynamics, because it would actually be quantum energy spurts. Do you know how that works, by any chance?
That sounds bogus. I have to admit that sounds really bogus. Like because like quantum energy, that's not something like very magical. Like it's always portrayed more magical than it is, and like the only thing I would say is very cool is like 0-point energy. Like that's
it's a 0-point
like
energy. It is a 0 point. So basically, he explained that the quantum state is accessed by neutronium, because neutronium is crashing in on itself, trying to form a black hole, but it's also outside of the threshold of a black hole. And it has such a high density that it's actually going to cause air and energy to collapse in on it as well. And
I see. Yeah. I see.
and by
Yeah.
using the magnetic
So
field to isolate it, you actually cause electric currents to flow into it and cause it to eddy. And that's going to give you an electrical potential that will keep pulling electricity out of the air. And the particles will keep crashing into your magnetic sphere because the magnetic
Yeah.
sphere will throw them out all the time.
yeah, like that will probably work. Though I'm not sure about the black hole itself because we can't describe black holes with quantum physics yet. So that would be like next step. I mean, people looking for that. So if we could do that, yes, like because black holes are charged as well. Like most people don't know that, I think. So if anyone hears this, yes, most black holes are likely charged. So yeah, you could probably trap them with a magnetic field if they are very, 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 very slow and don't because they evaporate. If Hawking is correct, which we don't know if Hawking radiation exists. So most people think we do, but no, that's just a hypothesis currently. So if they do evaporate, we might have problems. But if they don't and they're very small, and we could like use magnetic fields like for in quantum computers, that's used as well, ion traps. So we might do that.
No, but this is
I don't know.
neutronium, not.
I don't know
black
what
hole.
neutronium is like.
Neutronium is a substance where the charged particles crash in on themselves, becoming a neutral particle. But its gravity is so ridiculously crashing that it gives off crazy magnetism and gravity. One particle of neutronium will be like a million times the density of any particle that we currently use.
It is that so one of the hypothetical ones, or like because
Neutron
it sounds
stars.
like something. Again, sorry,
The same compound as a neutron star.
I see. Okay, yeah, but like a neutron star is just neutrons.
Yeah, neutonium.
Like that.
That's what they call it in its elemental state.
Okay, the state. Okay, yeah. Yeah, though neutronium is not enough to create a black hole.
It's not, but it is trying to collapse in on itself, but it's also escaping that threshold. So it's still
exactly,
usable
because of
safely.
because of the pressure.
Yeah, that's what the paper was writing about.
Yeah. So you have neutronium, which is it's probably the substance the neutron star is made from. Like it's basically neutrons smashed together, like so that they are so close that they almost collapse. But they are not yet strongly attracted to each other enough to create a black hole. And I mean that's why we have the Schwarzschild radius and stuff like that. No? Yeah.
I'm not 100% on that part. I just remember reading it. It was a really fascinating
That's
paper.
also why there are only certain stars that but you probably know that, but I don't know if the listeners do know it. So that's why I think it's perhaps I explained that so people listening to this who don't know what we're talking about. So basically, if a star is a certain size, the star will collapse into a neutron star through a supernova or something, and if the star but it's only a certain mass. I think it's 1.5 till something about 2 or 3.5 of the solar masses, and then it collapses.
1.65 solar masses.
Something like that.
Is
something like that.
The
Neutron star.
the Chandra-Zaka limit. 1.6. They say it's between 6.2 and 6.5, and then it either collapses or it explodes.
Yeah, exactly. And after and then there's another limit, like Schwarzschild limit. Is it called Schwarzschild limit? I don't know the names, but it's
the Schwarz limit is the limit that they have for black holes. So
exactly. So that's above that.
1.65 and 3 solar masses. You have a state which they believe there's quark stars and black holes. They exist in both states. They're a quantum state of existence, as far as we're concerned right now.
I'm not so sure
Schrodinger.
about
Basically,
that.
they say it as a Schrodinger type equation, because part of it would have already collapsed beyond the limit, and the other parts of it will be so shredded that they would be in the quark state. So there's no escaping it. It's going to turn into a black hole. It just needs more mass.
I don't know. I've not heard that yet. I don't know. I can't say anything about it. I just know that like
It's
there's a
all
certain
hypothetical.
gravity that will. So though how hypothetical is it? Because that sounds very hypothetical. Because
Extremely.
but to be fair, by the way, we don't know a lot about that stuff. So
Yeah.
that might be true. I just don't know. It's like no, I just don't know because like. I know many people in astrophysics, and all of them are like, yeah, we basically know nothing, and we only have many hypotheses, and that's why they publish a lot of papers. So we don't know if it's true. So it might be.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
we literally changed the definition of a light year about 2 years ago or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew that. So it makes a big difference in a lot of the scientific calculations.
Yeah, and I think we also didn't we define everything by speed of light now. I think they changed it. They said, okay, we will say speed of light is 299. They gave like a number, and they said, okay, this is the number and through that we define everything else, like distance and stuff.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not through the speed
Because-
of light, it's through the speed of light returned that we actually measure everything. So it's the two-way speed of light. I found that out through Veritasium.
Oh yeah. But like all the measurement units are they're defined by the speed of light because you can like calculate stuff. Like if you have a second, which is like defined by I think oscillations of a certain atom. Like that's why they are so precise because it's a nuclear oscillation. So like you see switches in states in atoms, and they are like very periodic. And you combine that with the number you get for the speed of light, and then you like define a meter, like by velocity equals distance divided by time and stuff like that. So they go from speed of light to everything currently.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works. This
Yeah.
has been one of the weirdest game reviews. We touched a very scientific game and we ended up having a scientific debate.
Yeah, why not? It's always fun.
It is always fun. This is why you can't
Yeah,
have two
yeah.
nerds sit and do a review.
I guess that's how it goes. Yeah. But we were at the fusion, and yeah, I like the setup of the story a lot. Like it's a more plausible setup. Like some stories don't have one, but this seems to have one. Like Warhammer has a very plausible setup as well. I feel like I like that. I like if I have the feeling that the people who wrote it put a lot of thought into it to make it like feel real. I like that.
Yeah, I would say that Total Warhammer seems slightly plausible, but it also has some elements that I would say were unplausible at the same time.
Yeah, like every story. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, they always take the liberties.
this story is most probably written directly out of peer review. I'd have to say
Yeah.
written out of peer review. This is the Kardashev scale 1.5, where you blend into nature so well that they can't tell that you have a civilization at the Kardashev scale. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah. I think that's one of the hypotheses why solutions for the Fermi paradox.
Actually, that was an engineer, and he was saying that one of the weird ones is that we can actually advance in technology in such a way that we won't give off any electromagnetic spectrum. We'd actually be in the natural spectrum. So we'd seem like a very low level society, but it'd actually be way higher on the Kardashev scale than 2. And that's because it's
Yeah.
outside of the regular expectation. And there's no way to tell if a civilization reaches that because they look primitive.
Yeah, I would also think that's very likely because I mean there are other solutions like everything kills each other all the time, or there is something other that kills everything, like a bit of like Mass Effect went down that road with the Reapers, stuff like that.
Oh,
But I think it's more likely that we managed to hide ourselves. So.
yeah.
Or they did, like not we. We haven't yet, but we're still broadcasting. Hey, we're here, bomb us.
No, actually, they
Yeah,
had an
but jokes aside,
explanation.
yeah. Like
Uh,
that's a cool theory, yeah.
They were talking about ancient Greece and Egypt. against modern day, the modern day
Oh,
world.
I think I switched off my headset. Wait,
And I can still hear you.
I think it's back. Yeah. Is it back? No, it's not back. Let me see. Wait. Uh, I think I'm okay. I think it works again.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, perfect. Sorry, I sat on the button.
And just one little a heads up on your streams. If I'm ever giving you a spoiler, you can't trust my spoilers because I tease a lot with spoilers when you're doing your TOG streams.
Yeah. Like, but the streams are very fun. Like I think I sometimes see the spoilers. Sometimes people remove them. Like it's not the biggest deal. It's like shouldn't be a spoiler like Rachel is actually Jihad or something like that. Like if you put down something like that, I would hunt you down. But like for everything else, like yeah, like I think you get how like
The
how
story
it is. Like,
isn't over, so you can't spoil something like that. And I always give
yeah, but I
weird
don't know
spoilers.
that.
I know. I give
Yeah,
a spoiler
yeah.
for the episode. Like I think you were on the HAL train, and you were just about to board the HAL train, and
Yeah.
I said the guy on the front gets one shot by bomb, and everybody in the staff was like, "You can't give spoilers like that."
Yeah. Like I actually can't wait for tomorrow. Neymar Station. I wanted like I want to wanted to stream on Sunday and stuff, but I always am so tired. Like I don't know. It's very stupid. Like I would love to stream more, but so much work, so much physics. But yeah, like Neymar Station is pretty cool.
Oof. I would love to do more physics if I could.
Yeah. Like I mean, I'm quite happy that it's my profession. So I went down the right way. Like I had a talk at CERN last week. It was fun about black holes as well. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
quantum physics will generally touch a lot on black holes, if I am correct.
at least the one they are doing where they try to describe black holes by quantum physics, because currently we can't do that, and that's why everyone's looking for that.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of fun stuff, a lot of fun people.
Yeah, there's so much to do in the science field.
Yeah, fortunately, like I said that to my students today. I was like, I'm so glad we know almost nothing, because otherwise I wouldn't have a job.
There was this one guy, he was on a debate and he was like, science knows everything. And then the other guy, he
Oh
was
God, I hate those
debating.
guys.
He gave the answer.
Yeah.
He says, you mean science knows less than 0.5% about everything, right?
Yeah, it's like it's such a stupid idea that science knows everything. Like it's more like science knows what it doesn't know.
No, science knows that it doesn't know. That's all that science does know.
Yeah. Like I like that, but yeah, it's often misrepresented, unfortunately.
Yeah. This is gonna be one of the most fun videos, because right at the end when we're talking about the main game, there's just gonna be this huge science talk.
Yeah, why not? I'm always up for that. Like I love talking about science, like, and I mean, like it's my everyday bread and butter, so to speak. Like I'm doing so much quantum physics in my for work. Currently, not that much anymore. Like I did research once. Now I'm more like.
I thought you were a research scientist in the quantum field.
I was for a while, yeah, but I now am like I'm also in education. Like I do physics and psychology, and like I try to, yeah,
I psychology.
I love it because the cool thing is in physics, and especially in quantum physics, you learn a lot about thinking and how to learn and stuff, because it's so hard. So I kind of do both, and that's why it's so much fun, because I can see all these incredibly brilliant people, like one of the brightest minds of the world, and I see how they learn, and I learn from them how they learn, and I can try to research on that. but yeah, I also did like some stuff on quantum physics and a connection between quantum physics and black holes actually as well a bit. Like I something that I with together with my supervisor did was we could show that entanglement is no that let me see how I put it in an easy way. Yeah, like we found pretty convincing arguments that there's no many worlds. Like the many worlds interpretation of quantum physics is probably like not that good. Yeah, that's I think the biggest thing I have done. So
Okay,
yeah.
so here's a weird question, right? Because
Yeah.
someone said that one of the most difficult parts for a quantum physicist was that they have no way to observe the quanti in quantum physics.
Yeah, like if you say quanta, it's like this. Like yeah, I think I've once described it as like a shadow. Like all we can see is the shadow of the quantum world, and all we can do is describe the quantum world by mathematics. But we can never really see it, and it's like we only see the shadows all the time. If we measure and if we do experiments, we always just see the shadows, and that's why that's what he probably meant, because like quantum space is higher dimension.
Here's something scary to be talking about, but I was actually working on some mathematics for a generator of sorts for
Yeah.
warp fields, and
Yeah.
when I was working on it, I found a way to look at the quanti.
Oh, that's fun. How did you do it?
So you know what is the name of this thing for warp? I'm forgetting the name of this.
Alcubierre?
No, not Alcubierre. The guy who found his hypothesis by using the space between the plates to be less than an atom.
Casimir.
Yes, the Casimir effect. So using the Casimir effect, if you have a multiple vacuum setup of Casimir effects, you could actually warp your perception so far looking through it with a super microscope that you could see beyond the quantum level. Because when you're warping at that level, it'll actually become bigger than the entire solar system.
Oh.
That's what you'd be
I
looking
see.
at.
So I see. So something like not like, but just the idea, not the thing. Like strings. Like the idea of bigger dimensions on smaller scale. That's what I mean. Like not strings, but
No,
like you
no.
can like if you go there.
You understand gravitational lensing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically what I found with the whole thing with the Casimir effect was that it should create a gravitational lens, a super gravitational lens at that micro level. So you could look through it and see everything a lot bigger on the other side just because of the reaction that's happening, because
Yeah.
of the creation of negative particles. When that annihilation reaction occurs, it should technically make the space between those two pads look like an entire universe for a split of a second, and then end up with no space.
I see. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it basically should give you almost infinite size and then no size at the same time, which is why you get warp. And we know that it's true. So theoretically speaking, if you had, I think it was 1 millimeter by 1 millimeter slots of steel that are down to the pico or femto level of refinement, and you try to look through that with the Casimir effect through that super microscope, depending on how many of those Casimir effects you lay onto each other, you could actually see into the quanti universe. It won't be a shadow anymore. You'd actually look directly inside. It would be your first scope into it.
But wouldn't it be more like another universe?
No,
Because
it will be
like because you still would have the information density that the quanta give you that you can't depict.
it's really difficult to explain. It's just maths.
You can send me a paper on that or something. Like then I can read up on it.
No,
Because I think the problem is when we speak in these terms, it's like always hard to sometimes things are misunderstood, and that's why I want to make sure that I understand it correctly.
So basically, my whole my whole calculation was generating a warp drive for transmitting transmitting signals across vast distances of space. And the problem was,
Yeah.
how do you look between the two sections of space? So you needed to find a way to
Yeah.
aim where you're going to shoot your information. So
Yeah,
the way
that's
to
true.
do it was use the Casimir effect to actually look through that microscope of the lens, and you see everything super expanded. So you're looking at 600 light years, and you can look directly at where you're sending the signal on Earth. It would be that simple.
Ah,
You
yeah,
could look-
yeah.
You could
Yeah,
look
yeah.
anywhere
Though
directly.
that would not be quantum. Though that would not be quantum, that would still be relativity, but it would be what you say. Yeah, yeah.
It will
Yeah,
just
yeah.
be a view.
Yeah.
At
Yeah,
the
yeah,
quantum
exactly. Like
state.
it would be. Yeah, because of space-time distortion. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, all you're doing
Yeah.
is distorting the space so that you can see beyond your limits.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's so
Yeah.
confusing to say it out, and the maths is so ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. I've never like really looked at that. Like I'm still like I'm more a guy who does entanglement stuff. So
You do quantum physics. I thought the maths would be killers all the time because you have to do the what's those things, the eigenstates and the
yeah.
the
But mostly you have to
Hamiltonians.
write. Yeah. But you have to write programs to do that and like simulations
Yeah,
and stuff.
and
Like for
those are
higher
so,
order things because
those are so inconsistent. They can change anytime.
yeah, I know. I know.
You know what would be hilarious if someone watches this video and then they create the atomic heart in real life.
Yeah, I hope they credit us.
No, they won't credit us. They'll be the smart one. We'd be the idiots.
Yeah, probably. It's
Uh,
always good to be an idiot, I feel.
Yeah.
Better
jeez.
be an idiot than a smartass.
Yeah. So yeah.
So have we finished the video, by the way?
No, we didn't even finish.
Because
the-
it seems like there's. Yeah, let's finish it. I
Okay,
want to
so-
see the end now.
so-
I want to see the weird twins again.
Oh, wait, we spoke for 26 minutes.
Oh yeah. No,
Uh,
no problem. I talk a lot. So is it first person? Yeah, it looks like
it's a-
first
it's a
person. Oh,
first-person
weird
shooter,
plant
so
things.
FPS.
Yeah. Is it like with a lot of jumping, or is it more ground based?
I don't think I'm gonna be able to finish this yet. The PC went back into freeze
Yeah, no
mode.
problem.
Okay, so basically let's just talk about the game and let's just steer away from science. Otherwise,
Yeah, that's probably better. Yeah.
yeah. So basically, there's a lot of games in this class like Mass Effect, Project Doom, all of those. You know, they're science-based games, but a lot of the things that they show are those rare possibilities. So how do you feel about those games? Do they catch your interest by any chance? Styles, are you there? Oh, you're there. Sorry.
Yes.
So why do they catch your interest? Just for a general perspective on it, because most of the games, as I said, are very close replicas to each other. There's just the whole story that makes the big difference. Are you still there, Styles? Okay, so it looks like my signal might have just cut for a few seconds. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, he should be returning to the conversation in a few seconds. I know that this happens to me every once in a while. But basically, that was it for the Atomic Heart section of this year. I am actually going to cut the screen now, so it's just going to be a big blank. And yeah, I'll just return to my image of my channel. So yeah, so that was our game review. Unfortunately, it did turn into a big geek show. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait for my connection to re-establish. This happens every once in a while where I am. So yeah, we should be back in a minute or two. It's generally how it goes.
Are we back?
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. There, my internet cut for a few seconds.
Yeah, I have that too sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is a South African problem. They actually stole our entire internet connection from the area, so we have this here very, very
Oh no.
frequently.
Oh yeah, that's not good. But yeah, like I basically what I said is I like them because they inspire.
Okay, so yeah, so basically the science games are really interesting. A lot of people in the sciences will always credit a movie or an idea for their pursuit of science. For example, I'm in the pursuit of space. One of the
Yeah.
things I love is space itself, and that's the reason why I chase so hard. That's how come why I love games like Destiny, why I love those types of fields. And similarly, you'd have your own pursuit. What is your pursuit? Just for a little bit of a
Yeah,
weird one
I
to
would-
end this year off.
Yeah, my pursuit is like, what are we? That's
What are
basically the question. Yeah, because that's the question you can see a lot in sci-fi stories, and because when we are confronted with stuff like space and aliens and technology, you often get to the question, who are we as humans? Like what? Like understand? Like what am I as a human? You know, that's I think you can learn a lot about that. And though I also like space a lot, I like the idea of going to other planets, though, like in the more comfortable spaceships, like an Enterprise, and not a something like where you have to be frozen down and shot through thousands of miles or whatever, you know. So I'm a comfy traveler, but I would love to go to space, and that and something like that as well.
Oh, I wish I could share these designs with you. Wait, I can share some designs with you. Just on a quick, just to show you some things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some of the things that I have designed.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 3 of them. They won't make much sense, but yeah, let's see if I can copy and send it to you just for fun.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Yeah, so one of the things that I designed was a spaceship armor, and an actual space station for living in space. So yeah,
I
I'm
see,
just
yeah.
sending it to you just for fun. These are image
Yeah,
files.
yeah.
You can have a look at them. You can share them with your audience if you want. They aren't complete.
Yeah, I will cut them in. Yeah, I will cut them in, like edit them in.
Yeah, so yeah, those are the 3 things that I just stuffed.
Oh,
These are
no,
things
it-
that I have designed from scratch. They took me months and months of calculation to make them.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a look at it. I will download them all.
They should be very tiny.
Yeah. What do you use for F3D? Is that
Fusion
use, open-
360.
Okay, Fusion. Yeah, perfect.
Hmm.
I should have that. Not on this one, but I will. Yeah.
You should be able to view it as an image, because they are supposed to be images, unless I'm sending you the wrong files. Yeah, I sent you the wrong files. They were pictures that I had. Sorry about that. Those ones aren't
Oh, no
actually for
problem.
viewing. Those ones I'm trying to keep secret.
Yeah, I deleted them, and you're safe now. Like everyone saw me delete them. It was okay. Okay. Ah, I see. Ah, nice. So, I see. What material did you envision for the armor?
The armor is made out of titanium. It has.
I see.
This is a 10 meter by 10 meter. It has an impact soak of about 140 kilotons.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just by theoretical testing on the fusion. If this armor is stretched by any amount, that figure goes up to almost impossible figures to break through the armor because of the special design inside it.
And the space station is probably a rotating one.
Yeah, it is rotating because of the circle pattern. It's like obvious.
Yeah. I know, but I know my stuff. So, how big would it be? The diameter? Like, so you don't have to.
Is 1.5 on the inner circle and it's 2.1 something kilometers on the outer. That's the diameter.
Yeah, okay.
And the length is about 12 kilometers long.
I see, yeah.
And it's a total space construction. Everything has to be made in space. Nothing can be imported from Earth because there's not even enough material to build it.
Yeah. We need some asteroids.
Yeah, actually, that's what took me the most amount of time on these designs. I had to make sure that the materials were easily found on asteroids. So I found out that making things like steel is almost impossible in space.
Yeah, that's the problem. And is that a probe or a spaceship, or what is exactly I forgot. You said it, but I forgot because.
So
the fourth one.
The fourth one, there's a spaceship. That's the one with the wings. There's the armor. There's the long a circle, which is the station. And the first one is actually a rendition of my design for an engine.
I see.
And this isn't the whole engine. This is just a small portion of the engine on a figment of about 1 centimeter.
Yeah.
It's a charged engine. It's a nuclear engine.
Yeah.
It has to be made out of parts that are this small, 1 centimeter by 2 meters.
Yeah.
You can only imagine.
So fusion probably, right? Or
nuclear.
Yeah. Nuclear fusion or fission?
Nuclear. It counts as nuclear, but it's electrostatic by nature.
Okay. I see.
It's a compound engine, so it's not one nature on its own. The multiple natures put together make it nuclear by design standard, because it will decompose atoms and cause ridiculous explosions.
Yeah, that's always good to have. But it's propulsion, right?
It is propulsion.
Okay. Yeah.
This is the weird little system that I said that I was working on with the mathematics when I realized that it could potentially open up the quantum situation. And then I went on, because I realized if you had this type of a traveling system between Earth and another planet, people like America might just blow up your ships when they come out of hyperspace, in that sense.
Yeah. That's not good. They would do that.
So you need to message them before you get here. So a message through the means.
Yeah.
But it's crazy physics to talk about on this level.
Yeah, of course. We will not do that, so no one will leave us.
Even if I spoke about it, I don't think anybody would get it. It took me about 5 years to figure out the basics of this. And it took me the rest of my life to get to the point where I could design it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's not like in school where you've got one equation. Like, you might have one equation, but that equation means so much more in this level than it is just like one number that you insert somewhere. It's so cool.
People don't understand. You know, when they see things like the Big Bang Theory and their boards which are filled with figures, they don't understand why they have so many unknowns. so many
Yeah.
things to insert, but it's because there's so many figures that have to be put into these calculations.
Yeah. And like you would have to model so many things, and yeah, nightmare.
The only thing which is
Yeah.
simple over here is the armor. That is the most simple thing that you can ever imagine building, but it is just so ridiculous
Yeah.
to build that they can't make it.
Yeah, like how much titanium would you need for something? Like, it's so much.
No, actually, that is very attainable. To make that one little piece of armor, you'd need less than 2 tons worth of titanium.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So
No, still you have to get it into orbit, and it's heavy, and yeah. Like you would have to already be in orbit probably to assemble it, right? So
the spaceship is actually made out of that armor.
yeah. Like, but you would have to construct it in space, I think, because
the
like
the
at least
theoretical
nowadays you would.
the theoretical
like,
propulsion on this here is 1 kiloton force per meter squared.
Oh, that's a lot. Yeah.
So this here can technically launch up a spaceship that's capable of carrying these things up, but I wouldn't ever consider fueling a ship that big.
Yeah. It's like that's not so good.
Yeah, inertia will rip that thing to pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool stuff. Yeah, we did a lot today. We talked for more than an hour, and it was a very, very pleasant talk. So
Yeah,
very
I'm gonna
cool.
cut my recording now because I
Yeah,
this is
like
painful.
I will cut mine. So okay, I've cut mine. Oh no, we did not do an